Hi, it's Morgan Fischer again, and I am making blog number 4 this time. It is January 17th, 2017, and it is day 12 of our trauma trip. Since my last vlog, we've switched cities and countries, actually, twice. So we are in Poland now, we were in Warsaw, and now we are in Krakow. One thing that really stuck out to me about the first city we switched to was Warsaw, and how they kept saying how they apologize that their city is not beautiful. And I think it is beautiful. One thing they said was that 90% of the city got destroyed, roughly, in the time of the war and everything that happened. And I think the fact that they had the push to rebuild it's really amazing. Some people would say, screw it, let's leave it like this, and people can move other places, but they really put effort towards rebuilding. And so I really just feel like that's impressive, and it's not something that Warsaw should be ashamed of. And when we would say we were going to Krakow, they would be very, oh, that is so great, we're so happy, you can really see the beautiful part of Poland. I think that part was beautiful in its own way. That part is a big city, it's very industrial, and it reminded me a lot of New York, in a way, I guess. So I kind of see it as New York, and Krakow is Sioux Falls, kind of. That's like my personal way of changing it up, but I can see where they're coming from, but I wanted to be forthcoming in telling them that I think this is beautiful too. It's a beautiful story that you were able to overcome everything that's been thrown at you and rebuild. And then we got to Krakow, and I realized exactly what they meant. These buildings are old, very old, and I think it's amazing that they still have that much structure and that much history in them. The streets are beautiful. It's old town, all the buildings, all of the old canopies and brick, and the paths are tiny, and it's just really interesting for me to see the two polar opposites that are not that far away. We have been reading Primo Levi's book, and the thing that really stands out to me, something I learned in the book that I haven't learned before, is that there was so much need to keep your items with you at all times once you got to the camp. You had gotten everything taken away from you, and already once, and the few things that you had to your name were your clothes and your bowl, and a spoon and a knife if you're lucky, from the sounds of it. And I just really am amazed that that was something they had to protect so fiercely. You have to keep what you have. And that's not something I had learned before in my knowledge, so he writes a lot about the silly people who didn't realize they needed to keep their belongings with them wherever they went. And even when he was injured on his foot and in the hospital area, he still had to protect everything because each person was for themselves. And I kind of see his story about protecting everything he has as Poland's story as a country. They went from being under Hitler's rule to being under Stalin's rule, and to me, both of those men are so evil and have so much power in their name that even though the war set them free from the camps, they weren't really free, and they still had to protect everything that they had, because under communism, people have nothing to their names. So, to me, his story in the book of protecting his life and his belongings is like Warsaw having to rebuild everything, and Krakow protecting all of their buildings with everything they possibly could. So, it's interesting for me to make those connections already, and we just got to Krakow yesterday, so I'm really interested to see where that's going to go from here and how my perceptions on connections I can make. we also read about selfies, which I personally have been struggling. I know people at home would really like to see pictures of everything we're doing, but I'm going to wait to show too many pictures to them until I get home, because I have to find that way to balance all the amazing, happy things we've done on this trip and yet still have them be able to learn. And it's a hard thing that we're doing, and I have to figure out how to properly portray everything that we were doing while also not making it seem like all we did was the bad stuff, because we've done so much amazing stuff that I'd like to be able to balance it out. So I haven't taken any selfies since we got here, other than one on the bus with the friends when we first arrived. So I don't know. Maybe I will at some point, but it just doesn't seem appropriate. And all the buildings are so beautiful that that's what I want a picture of. I want a picture of the gorgeous buildings, and I would really like to hope that the pictures turn out like I want them to. And if something's really fun and we want to take a group picture, I think we should. I think that that's a personal memory, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure where I stand. It'll be interesting to see like where we'll be. I'm not bringing my camera with me to Auschwitz, I've decided, and so that's just something I want to hold in my own memory. I'm not against other people taking their cameras with them, but for me, my camera's going to stay here, and I just want to soak it all in while we're there. I'm nervous about going to Auschwitz tomorrow. I don't really know what to expect. I think it's going to be a lot of emotion, but I think it's really something that's important to see, and I think I'll learn a lot from it. So, getting ready for that, and trying to get myself into that mental state, I guess, is where I'm at. So, after the next vlog, I will have more to say about Auschwitz, but for now, that is all.